For Wednesday, clouds giving way to increasing sunshine but remaining cold, high just 29. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is partly sunny and 35 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up. From now on, if you sprang a leak, need a water heater, or have hard water,
thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com. This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin Comfort dealer.
And by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis and Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Tom Ackerman with you alongside Chris Ranji. Ranj, how you doing today?
Buddy, I couldn't be any better if you gave me $1 million.
Well, you know what? I can't, but I'm glad that you're doing well regardless. And we're joined as well by our producers, Matt Bajeski and Frank Ladd, and by someone who's going to make something official here, as you just heard in the news. And, you know, the Gashouse Gang is a great place for us to provide information about the club, about the St. Louis Cardinals. It is a big day for the Cardinals and really in their broadcast history. And joining us is Senior Vice President of Business Operations, Anouk Karunaratne. Anouk, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Doing great. We just had it in the news. Let's start at the top. You just made the announcement that Major League Baseball is going to produce and distribute all of your in-market games for the 2026 season. That is an announcement I'm sure you've been waiting to make here for a little while after going through a lot of things during the offseason.
Yeah, it's been a busy off season for sure. I think we're glad to be able to provide clarity to our fans on how to watch our games, and I think there's a lot of positives that we can get into. But Cardinals TV ultimately is going to be a new way for fans to watch all of our local in-market games starting this season, and that will be on cable, satellite, streaming, however you choose to watch it, with no blackouts in local market, which is great, similar to last year. And so, yeah, I think it signifies a new beginning in some ways.
You mentioned no blackouts, and I want to get this correct because I have MLB TV. I've had it for years, every year. The package, that's the $150 package, and you can watch every game in or out of market. Well, not in market. Usually those are blacked out. Are you saying that if you have MLB TV that the Cardinals games will not be blacked out, or is there service on top of that you need to buy? How would that work?
Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of options. You can purchase the out-of-market package, which is what you have. In past years, that was all games except for Cardinal games in our territory. You'll be able to add Cardinal games to that package this year for an additional fee, and I don't have the pricing on that. At the ready, but that will be one option. The other option is to just directly stream the Cardinals through the same app, and that option is will be priced at $99.99 for the full season, or $19.99 per month for Cardinals. So you can just view Cardinals, or you can get full access to all MLB games, including Cardinals, now in our territory.
You've also talked about in this release how the innovations have been part of these MLB-produced games. So these go back seasons now. They have been working with live drones, wire cam, RF cameras, shallow depth of field cinematic looks, umpire cams, mask-mounted cameras behind home plate, chest-mounted cameras. So there's a lot going into this to enhance the viewer's experience as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're excited about. If you watched any of the playoff coverage, you saw some of that technology on display: ump cam, base cam, wire cam, and other things. I think baseball is putting a big focus on thinking about how to modernize, a baseball broadcast, and some of those things we will certainly experiment with this season. Still working through the details on what of that set of options, we'll put in place for this season. But I think it's exciting. I think it's an opportunity for us to think longer term about the future of broadcasting Cardinal baseball.
What about for the broadcast itself, the people involved, your shows on before and after games? What will change there, if anything?
We don't expect any significant changes. Obviously we've got Chip and Brad and Mark Sweeney in the booth, and we expect them to be back this year. We obviously lost Alexa Dat, but we have Jim Hayes and Scott Warman who've been part of the mix, and a few others like Al. We're working through that, with Major League Baseball, and we expect to share an update on, the definitive roster and the schedules of those people. But I think, it'd be fair to say that we don't expect any major changes from what was already planned for this year, which had already been shared publicly.
I know several other teams are going to be using a similar model here. I don't know, are all the broadcasts pretty uniform across all the teams, or does each team kind of do its own thing?
Well, we'll work directly with MLB on our broadcast. Certainly they have a well-established playbook of what works well and what doesn't, but the intention is not to just create a generic broadcast. I think one of the things we're excited about is being able to work closely with baseball to put together a show that really reflects what we want Cardinal baseball to look and feel like to our fans.
And it's also mentioned here that the Padres and Twins local game production won sports Emmys, as well as MLB Network, which we know has done very well in its production for a long, long time. Anouk Karunaratne is with us from the Cardinals, their senior vice president of business operations. I guess the next step also is to announce about cable and satellite providers, channels, things like that. Do you have a timeline as to when you might be able to reveal that for viewers who I'm sure are very antsy to know where they can do that as well?
Well, so I don't have a definitive time frame. I think in early February, probably within the next week or so, we will share information on how to download and access our games through the MLB app. We're planning on doing 8 spring training games, which obviously we've been working with MLB on, but is kind of on a shorter term turnaround time than we would have liked. But we plan on announcing the spring training schedule, and people will be able to watch all of those games on the app. We also plan on continuing our over-the-air arrangement that we had with Gray, and working on potentially enhancing that relationship, and we expect to be able to announce that in the coming weeks as well. So broader reach and access has always been a big priority for us. So we're excited about continuing to grow that relationship. And then in terms of how to watch, we will share in real time all the channel information and everything else. I anticipate that's going to be sometime, probably closer towards the end of spring training or start of the season in terms of cable. That's still being worked through in terms of definitive timing. So we'll share all that information in the coming weeks.
I know Tom talked about some of the new technology that will be implemented, camera angles and body cams and that sort of thing. Also, we're going to get the ABS system, the balls and strikes challenge system. Will the broadcast change in any way that would be noticeable because of that? Like maybe the strike zone box, or, how is that going to be different?
Well, I think, certainly when a play is challenged, or when a pitch is challenged, there will be some graphics that show, kind of like you saw in, I think it was spring training last year, in terms of whether the ball was in play or not, or in the zone or not. But in terms of, what exactly the other changes might be, whether there's going to be a box or not, I think, the team is still working through. So I don't have that answer.
Anouk, it's really great to have you with us on such short notice and to be able to join us to talk this through. I can't have a conversation with you on KMOX without telling you again how thrilled we are to be your radio home. We will have all of the games here on KMOX. We will have a very large portion of spring training games on KMOX. And there's just something about baseball that no matter what is happening in your day, you can know that there's a game that day most of the time. And you can listen to the game and have it be part of your daily routine. And I know that's important to you on the TV side as well. So we're thrilled with this announcement as well.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and obviously really appreciate you guys and our relationship with KMOX. It's one that goes back, this being the 100th year of KMOX in our market. It's a very long-standing, maybe the longest-standing partnership we have, and so we're always grateful and appreciative of that.
Great to spend some time with you, Anouk. Congratulations on the announcement. We know there's much more to come on this, and thank you for being with us today.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Anouk Karunaratne, thank you, the Senior Vice President of Business Operations for the Cardinals. Again, the announcement, if you missed it, Major League Baseball will produce and distribute all in-market Cardinals games for the 26th season. So you can watch games on traditional cable and satellite providers as well. They're going to have an announcement about specific channel locations at a later date, but this is going to be called Cardinals.tv. It is a direct-to-consumer streaming platform available from the MLB app or MLB.com. And this is the big one, Chris. No blackout restrictions.
Yeah, and as he said, it sounds like if you do have the MLB out-of-market package, like I've had that for many years, where you can watch any game from around the league on a given night, home games or your team's in-market games have been blacked out, and that's been the case for years. That will still be the case, but they're going to be an add-on. And he didn't have the pricing on that, but you can get the whole package and then do the add-on if you want to be able to watch Cardinals games that way. And I know people are going to wonder about the Blues, what happens with those broadcasts. John Orend, who used to be with the Sports Business Journal for a long time, he's with Puck News now. He says Main Street Sports, which is FanDuel, that's the production company that runs or has been running Cardinals games and does run Blues games. He says Main Street Sports execs have told folks they plan to produce NBA and NHL games through the regular season. So it doesn't sound like there's going to be any disruption there through the regular season.
That's Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. This is the Gashouse Gang. We start off with a bang with the big announcement and information from the Cardinals. You can always go back and listen to that, and the Cardinals are already putting out information. They just sent out a tweet not long ago. Let me see what it says here. The Cardinals put that out and said, you can catch the games on Cardinals.tv through your cable or satellite provider. It's never been easier to catch Cardinals baseball. They have a little map as well as to where around the region and the multiple states that will have access to this. The Cardinals say, welcome to Cardinals.tv.
You know it's the easiest thing to access, though, Tom?
What's that?
104.1 FM or 1120 AM or the Odyssey app where you can listen to Cardinals games all year.
Amen to
right
that,
here.
my man. It's a good thing. We will take a quick time out. We will talk some Blues hockey with Amy Markscore. She is standing outside the door. She's so polite. She never breaks in to disrupt our previous conversation. She is a true professional. We'll be back. We also have the voice of the Billikens, Bob Ramsey, with us at the bottom of the hour. Boy, are they hot. They're the talk of the town right now. Back in a moment, it's the Gashouse Gang. We're sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
Get hit the hardest. Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, February 19th or Tuesday, February 24th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Let's be honest. The hearing aid industry is broken. Overpriced clinics, pushy appointments, bills of $5,000 or more. That's the trap they hope you fall into. Don't let it happen. Audien Hearing is the escape. Their FDA-registered hearing aids cost just a fraction of the big brands, starting at only $98. Instead of paying as much as $5,000 plus all the doctor appointments and wasted time, you get what you need with no prescriptions, no office visits, no time wasted, and no crazy price tag. Call 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR. Audien's cutting-edge devices are rechargeable, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. Try them risk-free for 45 days with lifetime support and real human help just a phone call away. Over 1 million people have already said yes to Audien Hearing. Join them. Don't let them take advantage of you. Break free from the trap. Call now 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR for a very special offer. 800-700-HEAR or 800-700-4327.
Soulard is going to the dogs. Make sure to bring your four-legged friend to the streets of Soulard for the 33rd annual Purina Pet Parade, the world's largest costume pet parade. It all starts at 12th and Allen, Sunday, February 8th at 1 p.m. And KMOX's own Dave Glover will be leading the pack as the parade's Grand Marshal. Sign up today to march in the parade with your dog. The event supports Open Door Animal Sanctuary. For more details, PurinaPetParade.com. Don't miss this annual St. Louis Mardi Gras tradition, sponsored by Purina.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Such a beautiful sound. It's such a great, great fan base.
Yeah, it's about time we need to treat them with something good.
Yeah, welcome back to the
up.
Gashouse Gang with Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. That's the voice of Amy Mark Scores, she's been covering the Blues for a while now and is in studio with us to talk more about this team. And they just, had Chris Zimmerman on yesterday. You could just hear it. He's ready to. He talked about the organization. They want to look at their young players. They're sort of resigned to the fact, without saying it, that's that. I mean, they just can't get the traction that they need here, Amy. They beat Florida. It's exciting. They come back. They lose to Columbus 5-3. Columbus is hot. The Blues never get hot. I mean, they can't string together wins.
No, they did manage to string together a 5-game losing streak. And I say that because they weren't really stringing anything together. They would lose 2 games, win 1, lose 2, lose 3, win 1, win 2, maybe. They haven't had a 3-game winning streak. They can't get hot. They're just, it's been a rough season. We talked about this last week, played the audio of Doug Armstrong in a sit-down interview saying that it's embarrassing. That was his words, that this season has been embarrassing. So he wasn't mincing words in that sense. I like what Chris Kerber called it, which was a banana peel season, meaning we went into the season with high expectations coming off of that Winnipeg Jets series, Game 7 in the first round of the playoffs. And he thought, oh, wow, this team's got something. And I do think it set our expectations a little bit high. It was a bit of a false pretense there that we didn't realize we had. But I'm excited about the young players we're seeing. I really like Jimmy Snuggerud and how much he's grown. We've watched Dalibor Dvorsky develop right in front of our eyes as a player. And he's now playing for Slovakia in the Olympics, which is only going to benefit him and his career and his growth. The same thing, I think anytime you have young players going to the Olympics. And so I'm excited about that. I really, really like Otto Stenberg. Excited about him, Philip Broberg. So there is youth in the system. But that being said, we're in the Olympic break, or we're coming up on the Olympic break. March 6th is the trade deadline. I think we're going to see one, if not two pieces move. I don't know who those pieces are. From a superficial point of view, just looking at it, not knowing anything, I think Justin Falk is a really wanted and needed piece right now for teams eyeing the playoffs, maybe like a Detroit Red Wings. You're not going to get far in the playoffs unless you have an offensive defenseman, and Justin Falk is having himself a year.
He is.
So maybe he is someone who goes.
He is having that. I agree with you on Snuggerud. That guy has one of the best snapshots in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
heavy.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
And I think he knows it, but as his confidence grows, he's going to use it more and more. He's going to be a real weapon.
And he's been shooting a lot more in the past couple of weeks. Like, his shot attempts have gone way up. He's not hitting the net a lot. I think he's like 30% for hitting the net, but he's finally realizing he is a shooter. And he said that. He didn't realize how much of a shooter he was.
So we're getting close to this Olympic break that's coming up here. What do we need to see from them before that? Is there anything in particular you need out of them?
The only thing I want to see, to be honest, is just good hard efforts right now. To be honest,
play a full 90.
It sounds like,
or like a hard 90.
Amy,
Is
you
that what
just
it is?
want a good effort. Well, here's the thing. You look at that last loss against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and whether it was Braden Chen or Coach Jim Montgomery, they said they played like they wanted an easy game. They were hoping. Braden Chen said, we were just hoping that something would go right. He said, we were waiting for something to go right so then we could all kind of fall in line. And that's what Jim Montgomery said. They played like they were maybe wanting it to be an easy game. No one was taking charge saying, we're going to work hard, we're going to win the battles and make our own luck, make our own chances. Both, like I said, Montgomery and Chen said, it's like they were sitting back waiting for something to go right. And that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. So I would like to see an effort. I'm looking at draft chances now. I know some people get mad at that, but I'm looking at draft chances now more than I'm looking at the playoffs. And I'm thinking, my goodness, the Blues could accidentally get a really high draft pick. Think of how we went into the season thinking we're going to make a playoff run to, oh my gosh, it was like they accidentally tanked. They accidentally found themselves at the bottom of the league. What if we get a top 3 draft pick? There's a chance they could.
Any Connor Bedard's out there this time?
The top 2 drafts, and Tom, you might even be more up on this than I am as far as the top 2 are really, really good.
Stenberg's bro.
Yeah. His brother, younger brother, Otto Stenberg's younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
He might go 1. He was at 2, and now he's.
And that's what they need. They need a game changer. They don't have one. I mean, I love Snuggerud. I love Dvorsky and Stenberg and, up and comer and Carbonneau eventually. And there are others too. And of course, you got Thomas and Kyrou and they just don't have the game changer.
They don't have Nathan McKinnon. They don't have Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar. They don't have that. And what's really funny is I know Colorado is an embarrassment of riches, but I was watching that Colorado-Detroit Red Wings game, and Colorado went up 5-0. And the broadcasters even said, they go, Detroit's not even playing that bad.
Yeah. It's scary how good they are.
It's scary how good Colorado is. They're like, honestly, Detroit looks pretty good.
You know what that means? First round exit.
Oh, that happens.
But teams look that good. There's always that, oh, God, we're going to make it.
Do you know, I will say this about the Blues when they won in 2019 and how I said, it was a war of attrition. They didn't have the best roster, but they had the best team, and they would wear you out. I didn't know this because I didn't know it's behind the scenes, but after the Blues beat the Sharks in Game 6, I think this was when Brett Hull and Kelly Chase, their podcast, Ice Guardians, said 4 of the Sharks needed help getting on the plane. They were so banged up. He goes, they couldn't have played Game 7. So they literally needed help getting on the plane. They were that injured.
You just knew the Blues were going to beat them. After the hand pass, it was like, you know what? they're just going to bludgeon them anyway.
They did.
I mean, they just
Yeah.
the way they got through Winnipeg and Dallas that year, you were like, this team is going to destroy the other side physically. Whether they can put the puck in the net is up to them, and they're going to have to get in the right place. But they were just clearing space. I mean, it was just amazing to watch. And, you know, just to back to the fans before we go here, I just got a text from a friend who lives in Houston, and he's going to come in. He said, hey, I'm coming in the last weekend of February. I'm going to the games on the 26th and 28th, the Blues games. If anybody wants to go, send it out to the group text. And I thought, does he know that they're out of it? He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He wants to be there. And I'm just, you know, eventually the Cardinals will get to that where it's the place to be. Whether they're 10, 20 games under 500, he wants to be at the Blues game.
Yeah.
And I admire that about those fans. It doesn't make them sheep. It doesn't make them blind to the fact that the team is going. They support it. They want to be there. They want to be part of it. I get that. And I think they should be rewarded. I think they're loyal fans that the Blues need to work very quickly here to keep them.
And that's why I want to see effort, because that's what Blues fans demand more than wins, more than anything else, is just show up to work with your lunch pail. And just play.
And they will play tonight, Nashville, Dallas on Wednesday, and then they do not play again. They're not home again
February 26th.
until the 26th.
But that last game a couple of days ago, I was on Saturday night. I was like saying bye to people, like the workers at Enterprise. See you in a month.
Yeah.
They might win both games this week. You know why? Dad's week.
Oh, it is Dad's week. That's right.
The dads will be with them. When the dads are with them, Ranj, they take it up a level.
Carl Gunnarsson's dad, best dressed guy. He would waltz into that place. He just looked like they pulled him out of a magazine, like a Macy's catalog.
How about that? How about that recall? Amy, you are on with Chris Kerber on Matrix Midwest Wednesdays at 6 o'clock.
That's right. 6 p.m., 1 hour of hockey.
Looking forward to that. Thank you very much for joining us. You're with us every Monday on the Gashouse Gang. Appreciate you. For Amy, for Chris, I'm Tom. We're back after this with Bob Ramsey, the voice of the Billikens. Oh, my goodness.
Top 20 team.
They are
a top 20 team,
They
pal.
are the real deal, folks. Back in a moment.
Championship celebrations and the stories that shaped our city.
You've listened during moments of joy and leaned on us when times were uncertain.
From overnight shifts to early mornings, from one generation to the next, you've made KMOX part of your life.
From everyone at KMOX, thank you, St. Louis, for 100 unforgettable years.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
Swing and a home run to left. The first Major League home run for Albert Pujols.
Among those voices, Dan Deerdorf.
Good football town with a lot of good football fans, and they deserve better than to have both of our teams lead.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's blistering out there. 39 degrees, mostly cloudy in St. Louis. Tonight, we'll have a low of 28. The weather is brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
Meet Linda. She's stuck in a school pickup line, thinking about what to make for dinner, are the kids' practice jerseys clean, if she sent out that last email before leaving work. But you know what she's not thinking about? Her HVAC system. Linda is a preferred partner with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. Members get 2 HVAC system checks per year. We clean and inspect your HVAC systems at each visit. Partners also get priority service and exclusive discounts starting at just $19 per month. Life is chaos, but with Air Comfort Service, you'll have peace of mind with your HVAC system. Visit aircomfortservice.com today. After all, comfort is our middle name.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Tuesday night, it's men's Billikens basketball action as they face Davidson. Pregame 7:45, tip at 8 on your home for Billikens basketball. KMOX.
102-71. The Billikens, the most points they've ever scored on the Dayton Flyers.
Oh, yeah. That was a party, let me tell you, on Friday as the Billikens pounded Dayton 102-71. Joining us is the voice of the Billikens, Bob Ramsey. The Billiken Report, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. How about your St. Louis University Billikens, Rammer? They are something else.
It was quite a night, and good afternoon, Tom and Chris. Good to be visiting with you guys.
It's great to be with you. Well, here we go. They hit the road. They're going to Davidson. You're going to be with them tomorrow for a visit. And I think one of the things that you have to do if you're the Billikens, and this is not easy to do, is block out all that noise out there. I mean, a lot of people are saying great things about you. The Billikens are ranked 19th in the country.
Yep.
The top 25 came out just a little while ago, and they're the number 19 team in the nation. And, of course, everybody likes to talk about Josh Schertz, too. So if you're the Billikens, you got to keep it together and concentrate here and get another win because they're all precious.
Yeah, you shut everything out, the good things, and there's more than that. But even the segment of media and, internet types and people who cover the game who want to go with that, I still haven't played anybody. And so that can get at you too. So you do have to keep everything internal and enjoy the moments when it's appropriate to enjoy them, and then focus on the next thing in front of you. You look at the schedule at the halfway point, but of the 9 games remaining in regular season, 5 for the Billikens are on the road, 4 home, 5 on the road. And that is always going on the road is always daunting.
As Tom mentioned, they're 19 in the AP, 20 in the coaches poll. The net has them at 16 now. And yeah, while they, I suppose, are still getting some criticism about their non-conference schedule, do you feel like that's died off at least a little bit? That people are still watching these games nationwide, I'm talking, are seeing what they're doing, not just winning, but they're blowing teams out. I mean, that has to matter for something, does it not?
I think that segment is smaller, and all the metrics, and there's half a dozen different metrics now that people look at. They don't consider that stuff at all. But folks who cover the game sometimes, and I think that number is growing smaller all the time. But if for some reason the Billikens were to stumble, in February, even for a game, some of those things would pick back up again. But that goes to Tom's original point. You got to ignore it and just play what's in front of you, no matter what situation is thrown at you. For instance, it's been reported that Robbie Avila is sick. Can he play tomorrow night? And at what percent is he? Is he going to be 100%? Is he going to be 80? Is he going to be 50? And so those are the things you have to figure a way to deal with. And fortunately for the Billikens, they're with a deep roster. They've been able to overcome illness and guys missing games because of illness so far this year. Can it continue? Well, we'll see what Robbie's able to do tomorrow, and then see how Coach Schertz reacts from there.
Yeah, when I was reading Stu Durando's report on Substack this morning, he talked about it being sort of a weird illness that has bounced around for the last few weeks. It didn't just hit and then leave. It just keeps bouncing around. Hopefully everybody's okay and Robbie can get some playing time. But if not, I mean, they could go small. That's the thing about the Billikens, is that they might not have a true point guard necessarily, but they have multiple people that can handle it, rebound it, defend multiple positions. They are put together in that way. They're very versatile.
Yeah, and theoretically, you'd see more of the small lineup. And I think we're getting close to seeing Jax Kerr, the freshman from Muskogee. He's really, really talented. He just needs about 40 pounds of muscle, don't we all? Anyway, he's really talented, and I think he's the heir apparent to Robbie's spot. I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I just say that to say how much respect the Billikens staff and players have for Jax Kerr. And I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be next week. But at some point this season, we're going to see some extended minutes from him. He's a freshman. He'll do freshman things. But I think people will ultimately see his obvious upside.
With the success the Billikens have had this season, obviously being a program at that mid-major level, if you want to call it that, a lot of attention gets paid to the coach. And we know what Josh Schertz is. We have known that for a while, and I've been following him since his Indiana State days. So he's going to start to get the attention nationwide as well. He was on Barstool Sports a couple of days ago. You know, I mean, he's really breaking through, and I know it has some Billikens fans nervous because he's doing great and they love him, and he goes to Humphreys and he's pouring drinks, and he's kind of a fan favorite in the Spoonhour Majerus, in the same way those guys were, a little bit different, but still a fan favorite. How much concern do you have about that? Is it the kind of thing you don't even think about in the moment because the games have been so entertaining?
I would answer your question with a question. Why would you worry yourself to death and ruin the enjoyment of the ride? What could end up being the best Billiken team we've ever seen? Why ruin that and worry about things you can't control?
Yeah, I agree. And,
absolutely valid.
Yeah.
I know Billikens fans, a lot of them think of that, though. It's natural.
Yeah, right.
I can't. How do I go to the fans and say, don't think about it? It's out there.
Yeah.
Chris, I think your point is legitimate, but I don't know that there is a response that would change anything.
Yeah.
About him, though, I mean, you've covered this team for a while, and you've seen many coaches. And I know we've talked about him before, but as the season goes on, what is different about him versus some of the other coaches they've had over their long history?
Yeah, I think I've said this many times, really going back to last year. I think he's got the right combination of the analytical mind of Rick Majerus and the people skills of Charlie Spoonhour. And I think maybe some of those things are exceeding those guys, in that Schertz is forward thinking in his analytics, doing things different than the way they've always been done. And what makes sense in the modern game? How do you adapt to that? And how do you make it work for your crew? And while Charlie Spoonhour is beloved, and there's no negativity there, I think Josh is a different kind of people guy. And you pointed out the scene at Humphreys the other night. And I think while Charlie loved people and embraced them, Schertz seems like he's more willing to wade into the crowd. And that's that's just an observation. It's not a negative to Spoon, who's really honestly one of the most important people in my life, a mentor and a friend. So I'm just trying to offer an objective analysis. But I think that's where Josh is coming from, that he takes the best of both of the two best coaches we've had.
I think it's very well stated, Rammer, and it has been a blast to listen to you and Earl, and what a run this has been. They're 21-1. The St. Louis Billikens, in case you're just joining us, have reached the top 20 of college basketball. They are the 19th ranked team in the nation. When you look at the Atlantic 10 Conference, they are at the top with a 9-0 record, but George Mason's right on their heels, 8-1 and 20-2 overall. Those two are going to clash later in the year. For right now, we say thank you, Bob Ramsey, and safe travels to North Carolina for the Davidson game. And your reports are sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri.
And, of course, that game and all Billiken broadcasts on KMOX are sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. You know, Royal Banks has been around well over 50 years now in the market. And for them, their footprint has grown over those years, from St. Louis proper to St. Charles to Northeast Missouri to the east side. And each and every branch feels like your local hometown bank. It's Royal Banks of Missouri. Call them at 314-212-1500 or online at royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The Humane Society of Missouri's Day of Giving is just around the corner. On this day, your favorite local TV station will highlight incredible rescue stories of animals fighting to survive, stories of courage, resilience, and hope. Visit the Humane Society website to watch these powerful stories and see the life-saving work made possible by compassionate donors like you. These stories underscore why it's so vital to support the HSMO. Go to KMOX.com/events today for more information.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And this week is last call for football. FanDuel's giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. So today's 30% profit boost is on passing yards over, under, and the alternate passing yards. So as an example, if you think Drake May and his creaky shoulder will throw for less than 222.5 passing yards, you can get on that side. If you think more, you can go on that side. But all you have to do overall is opt in each day and place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking one last swing before the final whistle, FanDuel's giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
Now, back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling.
And by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis and Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
College basketball live and well, Chris Ranji.
I feel like we're going to get into some serious trouble, Tom. If
Why?
we don't, we need to acknowledge the Fighting Illini at number 5.
Oh, yeah.
We've had all these 217 area code texters. You know what that is. All those champagne people. They're texting in. They're upset that we have not acknowledged the Illini have jumped 4 spots. They're now a top 5 team.
Well, let me address the Illini fans. Settle down for a minute because we've had 3 segments. One of them was dedicated to the Cardinals TV deal.
Yeah,
One of them
deal.
was dedicated to Amy Mark's scores, as we properly
Also
do.
a big deal.
The third one was Bob Ramsey.
That's right.
Who is the voice of the Billikens, and this one is going to be about the Illini.
Uh-oh.
And about college basketball in general. Let me tell you something, Illini fans. There is a very, very good chance that you are going to be coming to St. Louis for the first and second round of the NCAA tournament.
How about that?
And I think you know Enterprise Center. It's located at 14th and Clark. It's where you go to the bragging rights game and beat the daylights out of Missouri as you did this past season. Not every time, but you did this time around. This is an excellent basketball team with players that just keep emerging. Keaton Wagler, the latest, who just lit up Nebraska, and they were ready. I mean, that Nebraska has not, as you know, has not been good in college basketball, and so this was a monster game for them. I mean, here comes Illinois, top 10 team in America, and they're number 5, and they want to flex a little bit. They just lost to Michigan, and they want to protect home court, and I'm sure that place was noisy, and they were having fun, and Illinois took it to them. They beat them 78-69, and in doing so, they put themselves in a first-place tie in the Big Ten. That is some serious stuff. A first-place tie in the Big Ten. Wagler had 28, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, played 37 minutes. He's a freshman. Brad Underwood only played 7 players, and he was able to do that because nobody had more than 3 fouls in this game. 3 fouls for Ben Hummerkaus. Everyone else had 2 or fewer. I mean, that is some playing on defense. If you can play defense at that level and not foul, that's one thing. And then, of course, offense. They're just so talented, Chris. I mean, they just have so many pieces that they can move around. They can score inside, outside. They are a tough basketball team that has now been elevated once again in the AP Top 25. They are number 5 in America.
Good for them, man. They are legit. I really do like Brad Underwood. We've talked to him a time or two, and you're right about that. I think folks need to start thinking about there being a first, maybe second round game here in St. Louis. So we've got the 20th and the 22nd at Enterprise Center. So that will be the Friday, Sunday games. That's what we get here in St. Louis. And there's a very good chance. And I know that a lot of people are hoping, and I think we're all hoping, I don't know that it would happen, but wouldn't it be nice to get the Billikens, get them in the tournament, first of all, and then hopefully get them a game here in St. Louis? I don't know they'd be that lucky, but it would be pretty natural.
Yeah, I don't know if they will. Jerry Palm, who I had on yesterday, had them playing in Buffalo in the first round. He also had them as an iffy at-large, he said. Even the way they're playing right now, he said their schedule is just not strong enough if they don't run the table. If they trip up once or twice, it could hurt them for an at-large. They may need to win the A-10 tournament. I think that I disagree with that. I think they're an at-large at the moment. And if they continue to do what they do, we're kind of saying the same thing in different ways.
Yeah.
He's saying they're not. I'm saying they are. But both of us agree that they can't lose games that they're supposed to win.
I mean, Tom, if you finish the season, you've got 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you played. That's
Right.
You know.
But back to St. Louis, like that's going to be Illinois' location, probably not SLU's. I think SLU would need to win the A-10 tournament and be a juggernaut and just run the table. Like if they win the rest of their regular season games, they'll be 30-1. And then they would go into the A-10 tournament with the double bye, win that. Now you're what, 33-1? They're playing in St. Louis. I mean, they'll be a top 10 team in America at that point, I would think. They're 19 right now.
Yeah.
So
just don't leave it to chance.
No. Just keep on bulldozing everybody. And, games like GW showed me a lot. But let's get back to Illinois. Illinois is ranked 5th in the country. The Big Ten features not just Illinois in the top 5, but also Michigan. Those two are linked together here because somebody's going to walk away with the Big Ten unless they share it for all intents and purposes. Like to look at this schedule, it just is there going to be a more amazing ticket than Friday night if they continue to go down this path? And Illinois still has big tests coming. I mean, they got to play at Michigan State on February 7th. They got to go to USC and UCLA, but they can win those.
They got Michigan at home at the end of the month.
That's the one I'm kind of gearing towards here. They have Indiana, which I actually am going to call on national radio, which I'm excited about. I'm going to do that game. Indiana at Illinois on Compass. Don't worry, I will be completely biased right down the middle. Unbiased, I should say, right down the middle. But Michigan, I mean, is there going to be a more amazing ticket than State Farm Center, I still call it Assembly Hall, in Champaign on Friday night, February 27th, when Michigan comes to Illinois? I think Illinois is one of the most underrated places in the country to watch a basketball game. Everybody talks about Allen Fieldhouse, and rightfully so, and Cameron Indoor, and Assembly Hall in Bloomington, and they're all great. And I've been to them, and I think they're amazing. But when that place gets cranked up in Champaign, it's a cool-looking building from the outside. It looks like a spaceship. On the inside,
it's like the Astrodome.
Yeah. On the inside, you have it's all in the round, and that place rocks. And if Michigan comes in there, and this is to determine who's going to be the king of the Big Ten, I want to be there. I mean, that is some good stuff right there. So I'm excited for Illinois, and they deserve it, and we'll see if they can keep this thing going.
You know, Underwood promised me last year. You remember this, Pajeski? He promised me I could sit behind the bench for a game. Is that the one I call him up on?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Is.
Biggest game of the year. Can I come to that one and sit behind the bench?
That's
you think
funny.
anybody else will want those tickets?
I did the USB. I can't even talk today. USBWA Awards last April, and Chris Carrawell was at my table, Duke assistant from St. Louis, and he's like, "Hey, man, call me and come to a game." Now, do I hit him up for North Carolina? Is that the one that I go to?
He'd probably be like, "What's the matter with you?
Come
pal?
on, man. Couldn't you have gone to, whatever.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah. But, no, it's exciting. I mean, college basketball is exciting when things are good. Lindenwood's good. SIUE's good. SEMO coming out of the Ohio Valley. We're the home of the Missouri Valley Conference. We have Arch Madness coming here. Somebody's going to come out of that tournament and make the NCAA tournament. Mizzou's got a shot. I mean, they're still on the edge there as a bubble team. They're doing what they have to do. They're not as consistent nearly as some of these others in the SEC, but they're climbing. Possibly, if they can get it together. It's fun when these teams are all good. We're a basketball region, no question. You can drive a short drive in any direction and hit a really good college basketball town. That's what I love about St. Louis, among other things. I love the Gashouse Gang.
Isn't this show something?
It's awesome.
Don't you hate when it's over? We have to leave?
I know. Sorry, we didn't talk a ton of Cardinals. I will say Chaim Bloom passed along. Really still no rush to trade Brendan Donovan. It leaves the door open for J.J. Weatherholt if Donnie comes back. But, they want Weatherholt to do well, but they're not going to give it to him. That's kind of summarizing what Chaim told me. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow with Bernie.
Oh, the Burn Dog.
Yes, sir. This has been the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house.